Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. Welcome to In My Opinion by Oli. I'm your host, Oli, and today we'll be talking about something that's become a bit of a buzzword, but with a good reason, actually, and that is mindfulness. And with all the demands life throws at us, stress can creep on us. You understand, and creep on us from every angle. But mindfulness is a tool that doesn't just help us manage stress, it helps us find peace right in the middle of it. So let's talk about what mindfulness is exactly. Mindfulness, it means being mindful. Mindfulness is all about being present. It's all about paying attention on purpose to what's happening right now without judging it. Okay? It's noticing how you feel, what you're thinking, or what's happening around you without getting too tangled up in it. That's what mindfulness is all about. Okay, let's think about it like this. Have you ever been so caught up in your thoughts that you're not really there? You're driving, maybe when you're driving, maybe when you're walking, or even talking to someone, but your mind is replaying something from the past or you're worrying about the future. Mindfulness steps in and says, hey, let's take a pause for a second, right? Let's come back to what's right here, right now. Mindfulness actually plays a great part. That doesn't mean it plays a great part in our life, but that doesn't mean we have to be perfectly calm all the time. Okay, we're humans, all right, so we have to feel human sometimes, but it's not about blocking our thoughts or only feelings. It's not about feeling this, having only these positive feelings, right? Mindfulness lets us feel whatever we are feeling, right? But without adding extra stress, okay? It's simply about noticing, about being present. It's taking a gentle but a curious look at our experience, okay? And it's also helping us to accept that this is what it is without forcing it to be different, okay? And we'll be talking about ways that we can use, or tips we can use in using mindfulness to help us with stress. So the first one we'll be talking about today is staying present reduces overthinking. So let's start with a biggie. Let's start with a big one, right? Overthinking. Yes, I've talked about it in one of my episodes. And our minds can actually get caught up worrying about the future, worrying about dwelling in the past, both of which fuel stress. Mindfulness encourages us to focus on the now, just this moment. It's not that I'm not saying you should not think about what the past or think about the future. No. But this brings us back. Mindfulness brings us back to what is in front of us, what is this in the present. It helps us focus on the present and keeps our thoughts from spiraling into stress, because when we talk when we think about the future, when we dwell on the past, it brings up this stress in us, and which is not helpful mentally, physically, right? It's not. By training our minds to stay here right now, we give our minds a break from those constant what if, or maybe if only, or maybe it will be this way. That our thoughts can often cause stress. That's what I'm talking about. So let's just bring our minds down to the present, okay? So the next one is helping us understand and manage our emotions. Mindfulness sometimes doesn't just help us be aware of our surroundings. It helps us be aware of what is happening within us too. Not just only our surroundings, but what is actually within us too. By paying attention to our emotions without judging them, we gain insight into like what's triggering our stress. And with that awareness, we can react in healthier ways. That's the awareness, that's the mindfulness I'm talking about right now. For example, if we recognize that there is a certain situation that is consistently stressing us out, we can take a step back and evaluate if there is a way to manage it differently. Okay? There are different terms, there are different ways we can do that. Just take a step back. Anything that is stressing ourselves, take a step back and see if thinking about this thing is worth it. And if it's worth it, why don't we dissect or analyze or break it down into bits and learn how to manage it differently, bit by bit? That will help us in understanding and managing our emotions. That is how mindfulness can help us do that. The next one is calming the nervous system. Mindfulness helps us calm the nervous system. Now, here's something science really backs up. Okay, mindfulness can actually calm our nervous system. When we're stressed, our body is going to this flight of what? How do they put it? Fight or flight mode, and our hearts race. Okay, and our muscles get tensed. That's true. And our breathing gets so shallow. Mindfulness, right, teaches us to breathe deeply and slow down, which signals our nervous system to relax. That's why I said at first, take a step back, breathe. And when you're relaxed, we're much better equipped to handle the challenges in front of us. I keep telling my children this. I tell them that if you are if you're angry, you can't make a decision when you're angry. If you want to solve a problem, you can't make a decision when you're angry. You have to be calm and make a decision or solve a problem when you're calm. I keep telling them that. And that's how they have learned to be mindful whenever there is a problem in front of them and they're trying to solve it. They have to stay calm to solve the problem in front of them. Okay, and this is the last one. The next one is the last one. You're building resilience over time. Mindfulness helps us build resilience over time. The more we practice mindfulness, the more resilient we can become. It's like building a mental muscle. I do like I said, stress can actually hurt us mentally, hurt us physically, hurt us emotionally, right? But it's like building the mindfulness helps us, and resilience helps us build a mindful or mental muscle that lets us bounce back more easily when things go wrong. When we are mindful, okay, we realize that stress is temporary. It comes and goes. It doesn't stay there like forever. Knowing this helps us keep things in perspective and not let stressful moments take our entire day. It's stressful out there, of which I know, but we can do this. We can do this. And that's the truth. When we put our minds to it, we can do it. A great part of mindfulness is that it doesn't mean that we are perfectly calm all the time. Okay? One of the best ways to practice mindfulness is through something as simple as focusing on your breathing. Yes, taking slow, deep breaths can bring us back to the present moment. There are some movies that you watch and they say, take a deep breath, take a deep breath. Not just pregnant women, but also those that are that are having this hyperventilation and everything in movies, and their friends will say, take a deep breath, right? It's always funny. I love watching comedies, and it's always funny at that moment. But in real life, it works. Okay, taking slow deep breaths can bring us back to the present moment, allowing us to reconnect with ourselves, and also helps us to quiet down that whirlwind of thoughts in our minds. Or it could actually be something as basic as paying attention while you are sipping your coffee, when you're drinking your tea, when you're having that ice cream in the freezer, or when you're having a cold beer. Really tasting it. When you take a walk outside and trying to notice now is fall, trying to notice how the leaves in the trees are changing, how nature, when the squirrels are out and trying to look for what they need to eat, you know, looking at not just your environment but also your emotions and your thoughts. Or maybe that's coffee or the beer you are drinking or you're sipping, how cold or how hot it is, the warmth of the cup, the chill of the beer, enjoying that little pause. That's what I'm talking about. That's mindfulness. The beautiful thing about mindfulness is that it's a skill anyone can build. That's why it says in all of us, we just have to try. It's not something you need special tools or extra time for. It's not. It's whether it's 2 minutes breathing exercise or a moment to appreciate the sights on a walk, or this these small steps of these small steps that you take into mindfulness can add up to bring big changes over time. It doesn't just take a day to do that, to learn it, but with time, as I talked about resilience, it brings up this big change in your life. In a world that it's always pushing us to rush all the time, we are on our toes as parents, as workers, as anything that, as business people, as CEOs, as leaders, as anything that is pushing us to rush out the door in the morning, coming back in the evening, or immediately we wake up in the morning. Mindfulness is a way of slowing down, even if it's for 2 minutes, and grounding ourselves, even if it's just for a moment. It's like a gentle reminder that no matter what's happening around us, we always have this moment to come back to. And sometimes, trust me, sometimes we really need it. That's all we need. Okay, that is all we need. So, my lovelies, mindfulness is a simple, powerful practice. Okay, that it doesn't make stress magically disappear. It doesn't, but it helps us approach it from a new perspective, right? By keeping us present in our daily lives, helping us understand our emotions too, and calming our nervous system, and also helps us in building resilience too. And these are what mindfulness can help us with during stress. Mindfulness gives us tools we can carry through any situation. Okay. My lovelies, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining me on this mindful journey today, okay? Let's remember, let's not forget, let's remember to bring a bit of this awareness and calm into our daily lives. Until next time, my lovelies, keep breathing, stay present, please. And let's keep finding those moments of peace, even in the middle of these life storms. All right, my lovelies. Until next time, my lovelies, remember to stay calm. Bye.